Well, I think it's something that we have to look at as a group and discuss, internally. We talked about some different things this morning about that period, and with the day off yesterday and then, right into a game today, we have to shift our focus pretty quickly. I thought first period was fine last game. Second period, like I had mentioned, we just didn't play well enough. I give Tampa a lot of credit. They came out and, they were swarming us, and we didn't do a good job. We didn't manage the puck well coming out of the defensive zone. We didn't handle the pressure. So, and like I said, you get stuck in your end zone there. You're playing that long defending. It's hard against a good offensive team like that. So we need to learn from that and then make sure that our execution is high, especially second period, because that's when you get stuck. You got the long change. We do the same thing to other teams when we're playing well in the second period. If you can spend time in the offensive zone, you chip it out there. You stay in three-quarter ice. You don't give the opposition a chance to change there, and that's what really makes it difficult. So, just something that we have to be better in this tonight in the second, especially.
There's multiple reasons why teams can get stuck in their own end, but if you look at areas of improvement from the priority right now, what's the one area that's okay, we have to get better to get out?
In the second period, you're talking about?
Just in general, like the Ottawa game.
It really comes down to executing under pressure, and I've said this before. I think when you have teams that are coming at you, you have to make sure you know where your proper support is coming out of the defensive zone, know where your outs are, know where your support is on the ice, and that's just being in the right spots at the right time. So if our defenseman's under pressure or we have a forward under pressure, he has to know, I have support in this area, I have support in this area, I can make these plays. Or you have to get your feet moving. You can't be stuck, So the puck has to move or your feet have to move. It's one or the other, right?
And are guys getting to their spots?
At times they are. We can be a little bit quicker getting there, I think, doing a better job at times supporting, whether it's a defenseman or a wing on the wall there, whatever it is, or a defenseman below the goal line. But it also falls on us to be good with the puck and make sure that, we're making the right plays with it when we have it. Like I said, if you got to move your feet have to move or the puck has to move. If it doesn't, then you're going to be, you're inviting trouble there.
Joe, last week, Z talked about looking at wanting to be, especially with guys that are on, wanting to be more of a leader himself. With you, you've had Merkelov at one point, you've had Suzy now. Is he particularly valuable as a resource for some of the younger Russian guys?
Well, especially a guy like Kuzi, you're right. I think Kuzi's doing a good job getting acclimated. He still has to learn how we play away from the puck. But offensively, he's bringing some pop to our game. He's got speed, he's got quickness, he's got some offensive ability. It's our job to make sure that he's executing away from the puck. But I do think Z could be a source for him there in those situations. The kid speaks, I think he speaks decent English, but I'm sure there's a little bit of a language barrier there. So if he has any questions, he can always follow up with Zadorov.
Is his personality, does he fit what you want in somebody to be a leader?
I think that Z is trying to do the best he can while managing his game as well. It's a lot to ask, I think. But right now, with the situation that we're in, I think it's incumbent upon him to take more of a responsibility in that role.
Do you think there's some growth potential there with Kuzi? It seemed like when he was at his prior team, he was kind of more of a fourth line role, and maybe there's some offensive upside there.
Yeah, it's been a small sample size, but I do think that because of his skating ability, his quickness on pucks, he's made some plays offensively that have caught our eye. I'm sure they've caught everyone's eye, and good on him. So, yeah, I do think there's some upside there. I don't see him in that fourth line role particularly. I think he's, going to be more of a top 9 forward at some point, depending on who he's playing with. But, yeah, there's something there to work with for sure.
You get a guy like Yoki, you get him on the fly, drops right in. When you look at him, why did you decide on that pairing, and what did you thought of it?
I thought it was good. I thought last game was a little bit of a step back, but it was really for a lot of us last game. So I'll kind of push that one aside moving into tonight. But I think just when you look at right now those pairings, I think they complement each other well because you have a good puck mover with a guy that can defend, hopefully in his own zone and help alleviate some of the pressure there. Regardless of who Yoki's playing with, I think he's the one guy that has to use his feet especially coming out of our zone, like I talked about, handling the pressure, our breakout execution, and then at the offensive blue line, he's got to be able to make some plays for us there.
Is that in his toolkit?
Yeah, from what I've seen, I mean, again, it's a work in progress. I think another guy that's getting acclimated to things around here and knowing when to go and when not to go and how we play. But yeah, I definitely think coming out of our zone, breakout execution, helping us come out of our end zone should be an area of strength that should help our team.
So about a month ago, the regular season, how steep of a hill is a possible postseason field at this point?
Well, we're not looking at it like that, to be honest with you. I think right now, for us, it's, you know, like, we thought we played a couple of good games after the trade deadline. You can see Tampa game, we had a struggle in the second period. Ottawa game was up and down for us. So it's more about getting back to, with this group right here, how we have to play to have success. We have some quickness in our lineup. Our guys need to use their speed effectively to get in on the forecheck, especially up ice, create some turnovers, spend some more time in the zone. So, but our focus honestly has to be tonight against Buffalo. You know, this is a team that we played, you know, the last time we played them, they're a good offensive team. So we have to get back again, commitment to checking when we don't have the puck. We're not looking too far ahead with the situation. I think that for us, it's, you know, it's the old expression, cliche, but we really have to focus on our opponent tonight and what we do well and what we can do well to have success against them.
You got plenty on your plate here. Vincent had a hat trick yesterday for Providence. Have you discussed him at all with Bouchonneau, how his look was?
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously we got a good report from him last night. He's really good second and third period last night in his game. So we're getting reports on all our guys that are playing in Providence right now. Like I said the other night, there's been discussions, but we'll figure that out as we go along here moving forward. Corpusalo's in that tonight.
Looking back, does it feel like you came out too early, or how do you feel about that?
I mean, maybe I think obviously you look back and if it doesn't go exactly as you want, you probably would have changed things. But yeah, you know, I think everyone will say when they're young they probably make some mistakes and things that they wish they would have done differently. And you know, I think probably a year and a half in or so, I think is when I really realized like you got to take this game very, very seriously. And obviously, wish I probably would have realized that earlier. But at this stage of my life now, I think it's my number one priority. And you know, to be honest, I look back on my times in BUF with a lot of really good memories. And you know, I had a real chance to grow as a player. And obviously, like I said, it was a rocky start. But you know, I thought I found my game there the last few years up until being traded. And a lot of great friends and a lot of great memories. So I look back on it with a very positive review.
Yeah, what was the turning point for you, you think, to take it seriously?
I mean, I think I got sent to the minors probably 20 games into my second year. And, you know, up until that point, I think I was always like a really hard worker as a kid. And, you know, maybe you got to learn as you get older and kind of get back to that. So, yeah, I don't know if there's one particular thing. I think I remember looking back and we kind of had COVID and had the long break. And, you know, that was a lot of time to kind of reflect and, you know, maybe change some of the things I was doing. So, yeah, like I said, though, I look back at BUF with great memories and great people.
What have your impressions been right now of this team? Obviously, you had a tough one the other night, but it's gonna be kind of a tough road here. What are your impressions, and where do you see yourself fitting in this team right now?
Yeah, you know, I think obviously it's a new team, new place, new system. I think there's some degrees I can play better, and you know, some things I like that I'm doing. So, yeah, I think we're gonna compete. We're gonna compete hard. We compete to win every night, and you know, I feel like I fit in well in the room with the guys, and you know, I like the culture that they have and that they're gonna continue to build. So, you know, I think I could be a really good piece for them and a really good piece in this room.
How much are you looking forward to maybe like settling down here and being here for a bit, having moved a couple times in the last year and a half?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I think I've said this before, but you know, you want to make it work where you are, and where you are, that's where your loyalty is. So yeah, definitely it's going to be probably a little bit of a grind the last month in the hotel and whatnot. But yeah, I think definitely looking forward to getting settled down and kind of figuring out where we are and what we're doing.
Do you have any connections to the Bruins at all before you got traded here? Just guys that you were buddies with that played here or anything like that?
I mean, I know a few guys who have been kind of in and out through the years. I don't know guys that have played here like long term. I have a lot of friends on the team that I've played with before and now, but they haven't been here for too long or anything. So, to be honest, my impression of the Bruins was I hated playing them all those years in BUF. So I'm excited to be on the other side of it tonight.